Hello, Year 3. Right, we're going to be doing a little bit of thinking about deforestation and the rainforest today. But before we start, I want to read you this book. It's a non-fiction book, and it's about Greta Thunberg, who you might have heard of. She's quite famous now. And it's about what she did to try and help the planet, how to make a difference. So let's see how it starts. So the first page is lovely. It's got all these kind of posters or placards made by people. And they all say different things in different languages. So this one says, school strike for climate, wake up, no more excuses, Fridays for future. And I wonder if any of you can tell me what these other signs say in different languages. I'll put a picture up for you. So let's find out what this is all about. And it starts like this. Greta was a little Swedish girl who learnt from her parents to turn off the lights, not to waste water, and never throw out food. 3 simple lessons for being kind to nature that most grown-ups haven't learnt yet. And here she is learning from her parents to plant things and take care of plants and take care of nature. She was very proud of her great-grand-uncle, Svante, a brilliant scientist who 100 years before Greta was born made an alarming discovery. The planet was warming up and humans were responsible for it. And here's her uncle Svante. And here she is thinking and worrying about the future and what's going to happen to the planet if it keeps getting warmer. But even though adults have known this for a long time, not much has been done to change it. Every day, millions of tons of toxic gases are thrown into the air. Greta wondered what would be left of the planet when she grew up. And here she is walking down the street and she's seeing the toxic gas coming out of the car. And she's worrying what's going to happen when I'm a grown-up. At school, she watched a film about climate change. Most students were worried about polar bears losing their homes because of the North Pole melting. But once the film was over, everyone forgot about it. Everyone except Greta. And here she is. What do you think she's thinking? She's looking at the world, the globe. She looks really worried. She's really thinking. She felt so hopeless about the future that she stopped talking. Doctors said she had selective mutism and Asperger's syndrome, which meant she would only speak or pay attention to what was really important to her. So here she is. She's not speaking, but what's she paying attention to in the room? She's looking at, a plant and an insect. She's paying attention to nature. Some may have thought these were 2 terrible conditions, but they ended up becoming Greta's greatest powers. They helped her to stick to her promise, to do everything she could to slow down the planet's warming. And here she is, as a kind of superhero, really committed to stopping the planet getting warmer and warmer. Greta started by convincing her parents to give up air travel and stop eating meat. But there were dozens of other little things she could do. She knew she couldn't stand up for something without walking the walk. And walking the walk means it's not enough to just talk about it, you have to do it as well. So you don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. And here's some things on her fridge. It says, eat more veggies, plant a tree, recycle, ride my bike, avoid plastic, buy only if necessary. And here she is making a sign. We'll find out what that is in a minute. She had done her homework, but it wasn't enough. To stop global warming, politicians had to do theirs too. And politicians are the grown-ups in your country that make decisions. So one day, instead of going to school, Greta decided to sit quietly in front of the Swedish Parliament holding a sign. And here's the sign she made. And it says, and it's in Swedish, Skol strejk för klimatet, which means school strike for the climate. And a strike is when you don't go to work or school as a form of protest. Not very many people noticed her that first day, but it didn't bother Greta. She kept going with her strike every single Friday, and every time she got there, more and more students joined her. And here's some students joining her on her protest with their own signs. And this one says, there is no planet B, Fridays for future, save our future, wake up, and no more excuses. It was time for children to wake up the adults. Soon, all over the world, thousands of students started skipping school to protest outside their city halls, fighting for the future of the next generation. And here's some children in different countries holding their signs. I wonder if anyone knows what country these people are in, from the flags or from the languages. Inspired by Greta's story, millions of people from Melbourne to San Francisco flooded the streets in the first world strike against global warming. It was the biggest environmental protest ever. She crossed the ocean on a wind and solar-powered boat to speak in front of world leaders. In the name of all the children, Greta asked people in power to stop making up excuses and start acting before it's too late. And here she is talking to all these important world leaders, and here they are listening to her. What started with just one girl and a handmade sign became a movement that includes us all, because global warming is the greatest challenge humanity will ever face. But little Greta is no longer alone. And here she is with other children in her fight to stop global warming. So, what happened in that story about Greta Thunberg? What was she worried about? She was worried about global warming and climate change, about the world being damaged and the world warming up because of poisonous gases and trees being chopped down. What was the first thing she did? Can you remember? She went all by herself, she made a sign, and she sat outside the Swedish Parliament. And at first, she was all by herself, all alone. And then what happened? That's right, other children came and joined her. And soon, there was a small crowd, and then a bigger crowd, and then eventually a huge march with millions of people. So, as we've been thinking about deforestation, protecting the rainforest, protecting the trees, this afternoon I want you to be inspired by Greta Thunberg, and I want you to go on your own strike for the planet and for the climate. So how can you go on strike? First thing you can do is you can make yourself a sign like Greta's. So this one says School Strike for Climate. If you go on Purple Mash, I've put some ideas on there of things you might want to use. What do you care about? Something that you care about. It might be save the trees, save the orangutans, stop cutting down the forest, something that you believe in. And I want you to take a photograph of yourself holding it, and we'll put them all together on the website to show anybody looking at our website what you really care about and what's important to you. Okay. The other thing you can do this afternoon is I'll put some links on Purple Mash for you to watch and read, to learn more about deforestation and to really educate yourself. Okay, so have fun, have a lovely afternoon. Make sure you go and get some time in nature if you can. And please, please, please send us your photographs of you doing your school strike for the climate so we can put some lovely pictures on the website and really show the world that we care about the forests, we care about the Amazon rainforests, and we care about the planet. Okay? Well done, Year 3. I can't wait to see what you do. See you soon. Bye-bye.